Shalom, shalom. It's Shamat with the Cleveland GMS branch. I want to start by, of course, giving our honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostle, Great Millstone, real well. And shalom to everybody tuning in, listening, and learning. And just getting right to it, just a couple of precepts dealing with the upcoming war, which is going to be the great and last, war, in which these heathens will fight, because the scripture talk about how they're going to beat their swords into plowshares. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4. We can start with this. It says, "And he shall judge among the nations," this talking about Yahushua, "and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares." When you go to the word plowshare, it says what it is. Eighth, plowshare, which a plow is a farming tool. Let's see what pruning knife, that's another farming tool. So these weapons of warfare, which is the sword that Esau was blessed with, and these other nations, they've taken part in his in the spoils of Esau's blessing a little, as well. But the Lord is going to put an end to all little warfare, and He's going to put down all rulership and power, because it ain't gonna be nothing, no technology or anything that these heathens have that's going to be able to combat with what the Lord, is going to be dealing with. Which, matter of fact, we can go to let's go to Second Ezra, chapter 13. All right, it says Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse let's start at 3. It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." That man is Yahweh Shai, and the thousands of heavens is talking about the angels. It says, "And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice." And that's what it says, when he turned his countenance to look. So as soon as he put fear in there, he's gonna put fear in everybody upon the earth. Right now you got Esau with his propaganda, Thanos, and what's his name, Darkseid. It's supposed to be like superhero villains. It's supposed to be a villain, but the Lord is going to be villain-like, because he's going to be killing, when he comes back, But it says, verse 4, it says, "And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned." And the mouth is talking about the chariots, because the chariots is going to have those flaming tempests, and beams of fire coming out of the mouth of them, which is going to be, coming out of the chariot. It says, "And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, and all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire." It says, right, because they're gonna melt. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, right? Because there's gonna be a lot of men that's gonna gather up. Let's keep reading. It says, to subdue the man that came out of the sea, right? what you talking about Yahweh Shah, because you gonna have all of these other nations try to come together, to fight Yahweh Shah. All right, let's start. Go down to verse 31. It says, "And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, and one place against another, one people against another." Right? It's gonna be all out warfare. You're gonna have all these different nations going head up against each other with their troops. It says one people against another and one realm against another, right? Because you're gonna have the spiritual realm gonna come and join this fight. Verse 32 it says well, I'm gonna jump down to verse 33. It says, "And when all people hear his voice, somebody Yahushua, when all the people hear Yahushua, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another," right? So they're gonna look at each other, which they were just killing each other. They're gonna, go up to Yahushua, and start trying to fight Yahushua. Who they are gonna see is a way greater battle than what they got going on the ground. So everybody's gonna turn from the fight that they're handling in their own, wherever they are, and they're gonna turn to Yahushua, to try to fight him all together. It says, "And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting," right? Because they're all going to come together. "But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion," right? Because he's going to have the fathership, that great chariot that he's going to come back in, including all the angels in their chariots. It says, "And Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men." Let me go down. Well, yeah, that's pretty much on that. That's going to be the last of the end of this was going to end the Third World War. The Third World War. Whoa, matter of fact, this book of Revelation chapter 12. I'm sorry, Revelation 9 and 12. It says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter." Right. So you had the First World War, then you had the second, and now you're gonna have the third. Which the third is gonna end with Yahushua sending the missiles and come back with his angels to deliver his elect. But let's go to because the Lord, before any of that even happens, the Lord's gonna stir up these nations for them to go into battle, man. This is the book of book of Joel chapter 2 and verse 3. Let's go down to verse 7. Actually, Joel chapter 3 verse 2. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat." Jehoshaphat is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh and Shaphat, meaning judgment. So the Lord's judgment. The Lord's going to judge who's going to be the victor and who's going to come out on top of the third world. But to everybody's surprise, it's going to be Yahushua. Right? I should say many crowns. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 12. It's this describing actually I'll start verse 11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse that represents the Lord's chariot. It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. This talking about Yahushua. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. Right, so the Lord is making war. Like we just read in Joel chapter 3 and verse 10, I think that was 2, that the Lord is gonna muster the host of the battle. Matter of fact, we're gonna go back to this, but let's go back to Joel. I don't matter. I can't find it. Okay, Joel chapter 3 and verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations. Yeah, it's like it is not the priest I was thinking was talking about mustering the host of the battle, but the scriptures do say that the Lord mustered the host of the battle, meaning the Lord is, provoking it or, designating for it to happen. For this, let's go back to Revelation 19 and verse 12. It says in verse 11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. Right, the scriptures say that's Luke 12. The scriptures say that this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth. This Yahushua speaking. And what will I if it be already kindled? Right. So the Lord is coming to send, fire, man. Burning flames coming out of the chariots and the missiles. So he said, what will I if it already be kindled? Because the fire is already here on the earth because you got so much chaos, man, going on right now. Revelation 19, verse 11, verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Right, so the Lord is coming back to even add to the flame. Great wrath from Yahweh. He's going to add to the flame and worse. He's going to drop those ICBMs. He's going to be able to control the ICBMs with his chariots, with the angels. So they can go wherever he want them to go. But those missiles have identification, not like pinpoint location systems in them. The scriptures also reference the missiles as being armies of the Lord, to do the Lord's judgment. All right, so yeah, he says, and his head were many crowns, because he's gonna take these crowns of these heathen nations, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And I think that's going into his title, or like not his title, but like his rank. But let's go back to we're gonna end it with this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right? And all these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? So the Lord, he's warned us, what we should look out for, and warfare, is one of those things, being declared as the beginning of sorrows. Matter of fact, we can close out with this, because we have to look out for these things that the Lord told us to let us know, how close we are. And it's going to be fast, man. After to see him and everything. It's not gonna be a long, drawn out third woe. You know, Scripture said, Lord, in that same chapter, Matthew 24:22, the Lord, is going to come. He's going to speed up the time for his elect's sake. And we can close out with this. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the Lord is getting ready to visit the earth, and gather his elect and destroy the wicked, and that's pretty much it on that. Lord's willing to edify. Want to close out by giving all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kakodas. Next time I say Shalom.